In this tutorial, we delve into essential financial and system configurations, including the following. Chart of accounts setup for organizing accounts and accurate reporting. Tax setup to ensure compliance with tax rates and regulations. Currency and exchange rate setup for managing global transactions. Bank setup for linking and managing bank accounts. System and general GL setup to lay the foundation of your accounting processes. And workflow and approval setup to streamline operations and decision-making. Join us as we explore these critical settings to streamline your financial management system, ensuring a robust, compliant, and efficient operational framework. Now, let's begin by setting up your chart of accounts. SolutionERP comes pre-equipped with a ready-to-use chart of accounts. Additionally, you have the flexibility to customize this chart to meet your specific needs. To get started, navigate to Accounts and then to Maintenance. The chart of accounts is divided into 3 sections, ensuring that when a balance sheet or profit and loss statement is generated, it is organized by first class, then group, and GL account itself, meaning that each account belongs to a specific group type, and in turn, each group belongs to a class. In GL account group, you also have the option to add subgroups within a group. For instance, under the asset class, there's a group called Current Assets. Within this group, there's another subgroup named Cash and Banks. Finally, in GL account here, you need to enter an account code. This needs to be unique. Then enter account name and select the group type you want your account to be part of. Now that we've learned how to configure our chart of accounts, let's move on to setting up tax types in your system. If you are operating in a tax-free country or state, you may skip this part. To begin, navigate to the Setup module, then to Company Setup, and select Tax. In this screen, you can define all tax rates you will require. Depending on the location of your business, you may need to set up federal, state, provincial, municipal, county, environmental, or other taxes. It is recommended that a separate sale and purchase GL account is assigned to each tax you require. Once this is complete, you should set up your tax groups and item tax types. Tax groups are useful in setting up sets of taxes so they may be applied to freight and customers appropriately. Create tax groups which define which tax rates are applicable to customers in given group. The tax shipping flag signifies which tax group should be applied to shipping for billing purposes. Only one group may be designated for shipping at a time. For example, let's say we have 2 taxes. We have a goods and services tax GST and a state provincial sales tax PST. Local customers are charged both taxes. Out-of-state province customers, or those with special PST exemption, are only charged GST. International out-of-country customers pay no taxes. Freight, on the other hand, can only be charged GST as it is exempt from our state provincial tax. Item tax types defines tax rules for individual or groups of sale items. Your country, state, or province may have specific tax rules for different types of items. If this is inapplicable in your country or state, you may skip this part. Now, in order to make sure taxes are applied correctly to each individual item being sold, define item tax types by category. This differs from tax groups which apply to customers. For example, clothing sold for school-aged children may be exempt from a state or provincial tax but not federal tax. To achieve this, simply create a category and tick off the taxes which are exempt. If the category is exempt from all taxes, set the is fully exempt flag to yes. Now that we have completed the full tax setup, let's begin setting up currencies. To set up currencies, click on Maintenance and then configure the currencies used as required, including your base currency. After completing this process, proceed to the Setup module, then Company Setup to select your base currency. Now, let's set the exchange rates for our foreign currencies. Navigate back to the Accounts module and under the Maintenance tab, click on Exchange Rates. Here, you will select the foreign currency, then add the rate and select the date to use from. For any foreign transaction from this date onwards, the system will use the entered rate by the user. If there are any changes in the rate, you can add to this list later. If the exchange rate of any currency is significantly high compared to the domestic currency, leading to large rounding errors, you can increase the currency rate decimals in preferences by navigating to Setup. Then display Setup or by clicking on your username and preferences and adjust the decimals from 4 to 6 or 8 as necessary. Now let's configure your banks or cash accounts and even credit card accounts. These accounts are utilized to reconcile customer payments and payments to suppliers. To modify a bank account, use the edit icon on the right-hand side. To add a new account, input the data in the lower part of the screen and click Add New. An account code must be created first and then assigned to the bank account. Additionally, a bank charges account needs to be selected for any incurred charges while entering payments or deposits. SolutionERP allows one general ledger account to be linked to multiple bank accounts. Make sure the association between the general ledger account and bank account aligns with your intentions. To minimize confusion, consider linking one general ledger account to only one bank account. Each currency bank account can be marked as the default. This account will be automatically selected for payments or deposits to suppliers and customers and will be noted on the sales invoice. As you near the completion of your full system setup, let's configure the default system in General GL Setup in Setup module. Ensure you select all the default accounts under in this tab, as these will serve as the default mapping for your system. And please pay close attention to the following. In General GL section, select an exchange variance account to monitor profits or losses due to exchange rate fluctuations. In Customers and Sales section, select the deferred income account if you plan to invoice prepaid sales orders at a later stage. Be aware if negative inventory is enabled, the average material cost from transactions before stock drops below zero is kept for future deliveries. When a PO is received or an item adjustment is made, the cost recalculates based on new data until stock exceeds zero again. GL for inventory COGS accounts adjust for accurate delivery prices during the negative stock period with an automatic cost update performed in the background ensuring accuracy. Congratulations! You have reached the final step of setting up your system. If your transactions require a workflow or user approval for certain transactions, continue watching the video to the end. To set up the desired workflow, navigate to the Setup module and click on Approval Setup under the Miscellaneous tab. Here, you will find a list of all transactions within the system with the default setting that none require approval. To configure approval for a transaction, click on Edit next to the transaction type. Then select the number of approval levels required for this transaction and choose the access level authorized to approve it. For guidance on creating or maintaining access levels, please refer to the initial setup video prior to this. To continue your learning journey and dive deeper into the topics we've covered, please proceed to the next video in this series. Your journey is just beginning and the upcoming content is designed to enrich your understanding and skills further. Click on the next video to keep exploring and expanding your knowledge. Thank you for staying with us, and see you in the next video.